Hey guys, Eric here. Welcome to Not Schmeal Show. Alright. Hey guys, Eric here. Been a while, right? Maybe a week or two, I don't know. Yeah, no Schmeal shows. Kinda had a little bit of a change of heart lately, but still, I kinda like these chats, you know? Just start talking. Hey guys, Eric here. Welcome. It's been a little bit, right? No Schmeal show this time. I had a little bit of a change of heart on that. Let's talk. Yeah. A while back, a couple weeks ago, I saw Dodal Vloggle, I think that's her name. She does like ukulele covers and stuff. She made this vlog where she just kind of like chatted, and she kind of talked about how she missed just sort of these kind of chatting kind of videos. You don't see them as often anymore. And I kind of enjoy it myself, you know? There's this kind of idea out there. It always strikes me as odd when someone talks about YouTube as a social network. But it really kind of is, you know? And I think that's kind of like a really interesting idea, you know? I kind of want to bring that back, you know? Put the U in YouTube. Because a lot of it is kind of designed around something similar to other social media sites, right? The subscription feed isn't that much unlike the timeline on Facebook or like the dashboard on Tumblr. You know, it's just things that whatever's been uploaded most recently is at the top, and then it just gets buried very quickly afterwards. That's why they always want you to upload often on YouTube, right? YouTube really rewards you to uploading frequently. And that's part of the reason why I kind of got away from the Schmeal Show thing, even though we only did one episode. I would like to do more. I would. I'm not gonna lie. I've been kind of falling out of love with YouTube a little bit lately. I have. I've always kind of been creatively pulling myself in many different directions, not getting very far anywhere, right? I want to be a writer, you know, I want to make tech stuff, I want to make videos, I want to make, you know, narrative films, and I also want to make these YouTube videos. I want to do all kinds of things. And the thing is, because YouTube demands that you upload regularly, right, in order for it to work, or at least to have some kind of success with it, I think it's very easy for YouTube to become the only thing you do, right? It can be kind of demanding. And I don't know if I want to do that, right? Not just falling out of love with it, but if I was to, you know, really dedicate myself to it, you know, that's dedication. That's the problem. I don't know if I want to dedicate myself to it. There's too many other things I want to do. YouTube, it would be the only thing. Not to say YouTube has lots of value. The thing I like about YouTube is that, well, to start with, so many of the other things I want to do, so many other kind of creative pursuits require such a huge, like, time of genesis, right? If you want to write a novel, it could take 4 years, right? If you want to make a movie, it takes like 2 years from the time of production. I mean, it takes, you know, what, like 8 weeks to 18 months just to write the screenplay, let alone actually shoot the thing, and then you gotta edit it. It takes a long time. Movies, books, but YouTube video, you know? You can write it, shoot it, and edit it all in like a day, have it out by noon tomorrow. And that was really beneficial for me, man. Because I kind of really, I quagmired myself much too often with my creative stuff. It got very frustrating never actually finishing anything. I have lots of half starts, but, you know, for all my years trying to make things, I have very little I can actually show somebody. And that's, frustrating, disappointing, makes it a little insecure. I think it's rightful insecurity, you know? I just don't have that much I can show people. But with YouTube, I've actually been able to finish something. Is it the best stuff? I'm not particularly proud of it, but certainly a lot more than I was getting done with the other stuff. There were times when I was just getting something out just to meet the schedule, and I think there's value in that. But at a certain point, you know, you kind of want to just sit down and make something you're really proud of, I guess, sometimes, right? I think getting over that burden of that inertia when you're first starting is very important. YouTube's been very good for that. But it was actually really interesting. There was a time when I don't remember when it was. I think probably the last beta thing. In April, when I finally felt like I was starting to make videos that people actually wanted to watch for the first time. And that was really exciting, right? But then I also kind of felt like, well, maybe I should put a little more effort into these. Because I kind of felt like that just like stick to the schedule, crank stuff out. It was great just to get started, just to get you going, just to get some momentum. But then I kind of felt like at a certain point, well, like I'd like to make, good things too, right? And I felt like that would have been okay. But then I guess, like happens in the past, to pursue that, I wind up not making anything at all. It was with good reason. The YouTube stuff, I had other things that really needed to take priority. When I stopped in April, I found myself in new apartments. I took up coding, really dove into the web development stuff on a much heavier level than I had before, on a real level. And it was kind of, for the longest time I kept trying to like make things and also study web development at the same time. And there's really only kind of enough time for two things in life. One of those things has to be work. So what you do with that other thing, you gotta be very careful with, right? And I kept trying to do the coding and the YouTube, but despite intellectually knowing the coding should be more important because that's what's actually going to get me farther in life, I always kind of wound up putting YouTube as the priority. And I needed to stop doing that. Like, it just needed to stop. So I stopped. Even now, making stuff, I've kind of fallen off the thing with coding. I feel like there's a lot more to say, but we've been talking for a while now. So maybe I can ramble on about that next week, I guess. Part of it, too, is also, I wanted to... I was afraid if I kept putting, like, chat videos like this up, these kind of, like, one-take things, that it would, dilute my content, right? So if I made these things I was proud of, like the Spiel Show thing, which I wasn't even really that proud of, but I told myself I just needed to make something, and God, it's such a... Making a YouTube video is like a creative shot in the arm, right? It's an instant, like, creative rush just because you can finish it and put it out there. It's awesome. With all these other things, it takes bloody forever, right? So it's kind of a nice way where if you feel like too, I guess, bogged down in what you're doing and you don't feel like it's going anywhere, you're getting frustrated because you don't have anything to show for yourself really quite yet because it takes so long for a project to, solidify and become a thing. A YouTube video is a nice way to get your morale up and put something out there, I guess. It's nice. But the stuff I was making, I was afraid if I do all these little one-shot things like this, with these rambling conversational things, which aren't really, produced, that if I kept... These are always much more easier than the Spiel Show thing, right? That when people looked at my channel, they wouldn't be able to find the Spiel Show stuff, right? If they clicked on a random video, they'd be much more likely to click on a conversational thing like this. But I kind of want to do this more now, I think. Because the YouTube stuff, I like it, but I've been really wanting to do writing lately. Getting back into that script writing. Making narrative stuff. And I had all this stuff I want to talk about that, but we've been talking too long. So I guess we'll cut it here. YouTube as social media, I think it's great. I encourage you to grab your cell phone like I have and talk to me. Let's have conversations. I think that's awesome. And I think I'm going to go back to using that. Just a few weeks ago, I had a very strong decision not to do videos like these. And if I was going to do them, it would just be like once a week, so it doesn't dilute everything. But I think this is what I can handle right now, as far as YouTube goes. At a reasonable responsibility, right? That wasn't the right way to word that at all. I don't think that was even an idea, but we're going to go with it. I want to do other things right now. I participated in the 48-hour film festival this last weekend. In the script writing process, working with narratives and talking about characters and what drama means and all that stuff. It got me very excited about creating things. It kind of left me with this buzz afterwards. Maybe we can talk about that later. That's what I really want to talk about this time, but we've been rambling. Now I've been rambling about rambling. Good night. I'll see you later. Be well.